All right. Salutations, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me and with us. I've been looking forward to having this guest on for a while now on my platform, and I'm really so grateful that he took the time to be here to discuss his journey with us and everything else in between. So, I had to make sure I kept my bra on so I could present this live to you guys, and I just hope that you enjoy it. So once we get through the intro, I'm going to bring up the King Jives. Jivey.
Jivey?
You know I had to go there.
I ain't heard Jivey since Lamar.
You know I had to go there. So we got the King Jives in the building, and I just want you to know this is Mr. 100,000 subscribers. Just in it. He's been in this thing. He's not new to this, but he's most certainly true to this. For him to just come on my platform and just share this space with me. Thank you so much for this, Jives. I really appreciate it. How are you, by the way?
I am good. What's up to everybody?
Yes.
That's in the chat, coming in the chat, whatever.
Shout out to everyone.
Honestly, I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. Every day is interesting, especially living in this political climate. Every day is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think I wake up every day with the attitude, what WTF? But, honestly, I appreciate you doing this, giving me the opportunity, and wanting to talk and interview and everything. I think it's fun. We don't get here by happenstance. Building a platform, it really does take a lot. It takes a lot of tenacity. No matter what genre you may be in, whether it's church, political,
mm-hmm.
and real estate, it doesn't matter. I met you quite some years ago with the guys, and it was Fashion Craze. I think that was Fashion Craze.
Yes. But I was following way before then, Josh.
You was before then, but you had brought that to me, and we worked on
that.
Huh?
I thank you for that. And that was the time. So I really do appreciate that supporting that venture. I do appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jives, before there was a King Jives, you had this platform, and it keeps growing, and I see people in the chat. Thank you so much for bringing your people on. I appreciate that. If you don't mind, I want to just kind of give a quick shout out to Inquisitive Dime, Lady Proverb. She said, "My God, I don't know what was my my God for what Lady Proverb." And then we have Angel 2004, and hi, Miss Stevie. Shout out to Miss Stevie. She just had an interview. So check her out. Her platform is just, great as well. So please support Miss Stevie. Jedi Speak 2K. I appreciate you. IPV, shout out to you. Thank you so much for your support consistently. I appreciate that. Oh, keeping the bra on. Yeah, that's my signature intro that I always do. So thank you for that. And good evening, Eric Terrible. I appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you so much for supporting myself as well as King Jives. But before there was a King Jives, there was a backstory to DeMario Jives, right? So let's get into DeMario. Let's get into your upbringing. Was it a two-parent household, single-parent household, siblings, cousins, whipping, schooling? We'll get into all of that. We're gonna get. Want to get into all of that. I want to get into, where you were, where you were. And what became of that? So I want to get more into your backstory. So where were you born? Florida, correct?
So no, I wasn't born in Florida. I actually was born in West Memphis, Arkansas, which is basically Tennessee.
Okay.
Is
it borderline?
It's right there. When I say right there on the water.
Really?
So West Memphis is like, let's say you're leaving out of Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal know what I'm talking about. You're leaving out of Arkansas to go to Memphis. You're going to first go into this town, this small town called West Memphis. It's Marion County. So you go into West Memphis. It's a real little town.
Okay.
So right before you go to the bridge.
Okay.
That's 27. I think that's what. No, I think that might be wrong. But right before you get to the bridge is West Memphis, Arkansas, which technically it's that little piece of Tennessee that is broken. That's like that little part that's broken off from Tennessee, and it's divided by the Mississippi River. So that's where I was born, but raised in Memphis. I spent some time, here and there, but I've sent a little more time. Listen, I have spent the majority. I am really a Floridian. I mean, I'm a Memphian, but I'm a Floridian. I'm a Memphian because that's where I was born.
Florida at heart, right?
Yeah.
So what got you there? So how old were you when you moved to Florida?
So I moved to Florida about 1994. My whole entire family moved here. Well, almost my whole entire family moved here. And
why the transition? Why was that? Why the transition from there to Florida?
They said the Lord said so.
Oh, Lord say, God say go.
We've been here because the Lord said, Evo, bobo.
But I'm gonna get more into that because you very church. I mean, you just church all up in you. So but like I said, I want to go back into your upbringing because I just can't imagine a dull moment with Demario, because Demario seemed like that one of those mischievous kids, always in trouble, just with that mouth of yours, and I could just imagine little Demario just getting into just any and anything. I could just see like what was life like as little Demario Jives. I gotta hear this.
Honestly, I was the firstborn grandson.
Firstborn, okay.
On my mama's side, I was the second on my daddy's side. My cousin Dante is the first grandchild on my daddy's side, but I'm spoiled on both sides, and then I just I spoiled myself. Praise God.
So you starting already? Go ahead.
The thing is, it's like it's like my mama's side is very much so Pentecostal, Church of God in Christ. My daddy's side is Church of God in Christ, but Baptist, AME, all that stuff like that over there.
Okay, I can see that.
I was very much so the type of child that, I knew how to get my way, if that makes sense. I knew how to get my way.
It does.
I did what I was supposed to do. Life back then, because I'm an 80s baby, like 1984, I'm an 80s baby. So life back then was very different. The town that we lived in, the city that we lived in, everybody knew everybody. So if you did something, trust me, your mama, grandmama,
yes,
everybody will know. You're going to get your pop before you get home. That type of town.
Yes.
The town was so...
Like, your mama know you here?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The town was so, like, it was a time where people still pick cotton.
Really?
Yeah. People still pick cotton, and there's a piece of, I think it's 50. Crystal, tell me if I'm right or wrong. 50 go up, you go to Missouri and stuff.
But in the 80s though?
In the 80s. So on each side of the road, you had cotton, and then another field you had beans. And so I was in charge of
oh gosh.
I was in charge of the water, right? I was a little water boy. I was charging people candy pieces. You want some water? Give me a piece of candy.
You was charging candy?
I was charging bubble gum, Chico sticks, now laters. That was when gas back then was like 85 cents. Back then.
Wait, you had to deliver water? Like you had to provide what? Like what's the water source like? Like give me some input of what you're talking about.
Well, like the igloo, big containers, the big igloo things. So we just walked around, carried the water, gave people cups to drink, while we out there, chopping cotton. So my grandma made me a little chopper cotton thing too. So
what?
She broke it in half, and I had a little hole at the end. and I was down there.
I'm still on this. Wait, I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry. I'm still on the pick and cotton thing. But Jives. You was free, right?
Yeah.
Y'all know. Okay, I'm just checking.
So, okay, so like in Arkansas,
Okay.
they had the people that had the tractors and stuff, and they still had at that time people that still worked, and they went out there picking the cotton, doing the thing like that. This was in the 80s, this was way, before things really picked up. I mean, this was not, we was out, trust me, the town I lived in was very segregated. So,
And personally, I think that should be this way now, but that's a whole nother conversation. But okay.
so,
Okay.
I'm sorry, it was desegregation. So it was like we had the town that we lived in, or at least my grandma them did at the time. It was everybody was there, black, white. I'm part Indian, so everybody there. My daddy's people lived here. My mama people lived here. My the corner store, the Chinese man owned the corner store, the post office box places up here. You go across the track to Mr. Charlie them, and that was the meat market and stuff. So it was, it was just that type of town. So
Me either.
baby, no, let me tell you something. I didn't pick nobody's cotton. I was chopping that down, and I got my ass whooped because of that, because I didn't know how to do that. So they just told me just to take the water around to the people.
This is so interesting. And so, so you grew up, you was chugging the water, selling it for candy. You said that you were one of those kids that there was like you had a sense of community around you.
Mm-hmm.
So how was school for you? Like, how was your grades? Were you in any extracurricular activities? I'm starting with the elementary, junior high. Let's start there. As far as like, how was that for you?
So honestly, elementary. Well, let's just start at kindergarten, like pre-K, all this other stuff.
Yeah, that's elementary.
Like, for me, school was like I typically was like the little class clown. I always, did what I was supposed to do. If I did something, the teacher would tell the bus driver would tell somebody else, and it would finally get back to my auntie then.
Yes.
That's who was keeping me at the time, because my mama, she was still in school. She was in college. So it was, it was what it was. It was quite interesting, being raised by not just my mom or my dad, but being raised by everybody. Hey, Darius, what's up, brother? My story is that, I didn't just have a mother and a father or anything like that. Like, I had a community that raised me. Like, there was, it was never is your mom and dad married? No, I had a family community of people. Like, if I did something, baby, my cousin them gonna tell somebody on this side, gonna tell somebody. By the time I get home, it's gonna be war zone. So, and then plus, really, I wasn't the type of kid to really get whoopings all the time. It was, I didn't, because I found a way out of it,
Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
I found a way out of it, and it honestly was what it was. I miss those days, because life was very different back then. I miss the community of people.
Yes.
I miss the relatives that are now gone on. They're in the ancestral realm and all of that stuff like that. Life is, and then what I do, I hate and I love the most. Yes, picking cotton was, you see, y'all give me up.
So, I'm telling you, we all shocked by that. There's a shock factor there. Hey, Tweety. But go ahead, Josh.
So what I miss the most is the relatives that lived past their years, and they had so many stories and wisdom about what was, what happened. I never got a chance to I never got a chance to meet my great grandfather, my mom's mother's father. My great grandmother, she lived long, and I thank God for the time with her. I did see my great grandfather in a dream. Long after that, after he had passed, I remember seeing him in a dream. And we had a conversation, but that's neither here nor there. But I do believe that depending upon who you are, that spiritually, people will visit you, they'll talk to you, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just it is what it is. Um,
But okay, so I'm going into that. You said you missed that support system, and I do understand that because the community is not as close as it used to be, as
yeah.
everybody's living doing their own thing. But I want to know, growing up, what type who gave you the most advice, and how did you receive it? I'm just curious about that. Like, what did you have, like, certain deep discussions with your parents or certain family members when it comes to just basic stuff like sex, puberty, schooling, just growing, going through, did you receive that type of advice? Because sometimes, kids grow up, you don't have those sit down conversations with adults. Sometimes you kind of learn things on your own.
So for me, a lot of things I did learn on my own because I'm a church kid and I was the oldest. Those type of conversations I didn't really have. My uncles them, they try to, have this, but it was, we really didn't have it. Like, I would hang out with them from some time, and then, they were still in college. So when I say I was the baby, I was the baby. Like, I grew up with my mom. I grew up with my uncles. So my uncles them were like my brothers. My uncle and auntie
Mm-hmm.
were like my mom was like my brother and my sisters. But my mom had me at 16. She was about to graduate high school, and my grandmother said, "No, you're going to have this baby, and it's going to be raised in love." And that's exactly what happened. I was the baby of the family, and everybody took turns whooping my ass and taking care of me and raising me and everything. So uh,
Yes.
I didn't have those. I was spoiled. Faith, I was spoiled.
Me too.
Like I was spoiled. Like, I really feel like if my grandparents were still, well, I still have my grandmother. If my great grandparents were still alive, I would be horrible. Like I would be
Mm-hmm.
horrible because I had what I wanted, I did what I wanted, but I was responsible, and I
Okay,
knew,
that
you know,
made a difference.
like they put enough wisdom and knowledge in me to where I knew what was right, what was wrong. But that this is kind of like the way that I am because this is the reason why I am the way that I am now, because I had good family around me, and people honestly, um I knew I was loved. Like,
Good
no question about it. I knew I was loved.
in itself.
I didn't have to wonder. When I did, and I'm gonna jump many years ahead. When I did finally come out,
Okay, I'll get more into that.
not that I needed to, my grandmother said to me, Mario, when you gonna tell us? And I'm like,
Your truth. Let them know. Yes, because they wouldn't know.
what? So
Yeah, they wouldn't know.
So I mean, at that point, and my grandma was like, "Baby, we always knew we gonna love you regardless. Like, is
Mhm.
what it is. Like, if you marry somebody, you marry a girl, marry a dude. Now, mind you, these are Pentecostal people. No matter what you do, we gonna love you." At that point in my life, I was like, "Oh, the hell with everybody else."
Mhm.
I live myself like I don't go around with rainbow flags and tutus, but I am authentically me.
Right, right.
I'm not going to sit out here and big for somebody to sit out here and love me back when I'm like, baby, I'm enough for me.
Good. Yeah, right. And I'm glad you know that you're enough. But I want to go. Let's go back, because I want to know, like, what was your relationship like with your dad? What was that like?
So my relationship with my dad is, and I'm just being honest, it's very, that's my daddy. That's my daddy. Like, I don't Like, I don't care who my mama married. I don't care what. That's my daddy. First of all, I look like the man. I talk like the man. I'm just a younger version of Tony Clay. That's all, you know.
But you say that's your daddy. But what does that mean? Like, what does that mean for you? Like, that's your daddy, and like, what does that entail? Like, what is it?
Me and my dad had a conversation many years ago about everything. My dad was like, "Son, it don't matter. Whatever. You're my child." He said, "I hate that I didn't spend a lot of time as I could have with you, but the time that I have spent with you, I'm very happy." We talk. My dad actually texted me yesterday because I posted some picture on Facebook with this little AI thing that give you all these kids behind you. He was cracking jokes, and I was like, I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Them your grandkids?" He said, "Yeah, my grown ass kids."
All right, so yeah, so you basically saying that you and your father, you're good, copacetic. Everything's copacetic at this time. Okay,
yeah.
Duly noted. All right, so going back to the schooling, did you have any extracurricular activities? Sports, music, arts, anything like that?
So when I was in, oh God, when I was in, I want to say the 4th and 5th grade, I've always been a musician. I knew how to play the drums.
Yeah, because I didn't know that until you. I mean, I was actually, I was in a few lives ago when you mentioned you being a musician. I never knew that. Yeah. So, what instruments?
Absolutely, Kimberly Black. I love my dad, and he loves me. So I'm a musician. I just really started tapping into some other stuff with music. But,
well, what do you play?
I play the drums.
Okay. Wow, cool.
I'm a choir head.
Okay, of course.
Played in Sunday school, church, band. I used to play the saxophone, alto saxophone. Yes,
really?
Alto saxophone, the flute. Don't ask me to do that stuff now because I wouldn't even be able to tell you. I don't know. I used to play the keyboard, and I used to play the organ, Hammond B3. I used to play all that.
Okay. How hard is it for you to learn an instrument? Because I always wanted to try it, but I mean, especially having those multiple instruments. How hard is it?
It's you have to have a dedicated mind.
You do.
Focus and learn the notes and everything, and to be just dedicated to playing the key. What I had to learn real quick was praise break music.
Oh yes.
You got to learn that bass. Come to
that. It's all about timing when it comes to that praise music.
Yes.
Timing when it comes to that as well. But yeah, do you know how to read music?
No, I don't know how to read music.
Okay. Yeah, like I agree, Kimberly. You got to revisit that creative side again. I do agree.
Yeah. When you say creative side, what you mean? Talking about playing the music?
Yes. And all around. But did you start learning instruments in junior high or high school? Did I start in high school? So we're going to get into high school.
I learned music when I was a child. Like
okay.
I say, I was in church 24/7.
Yes.
I was in church 24/7, Sunday through Saturday. I was in church. I'm telling you, like, all I knew was Jesus. I just knew to pray, fast, and hickamashah, and that's it. Listen, God is going to be the answer to everything. Period.
Yes, absolutely. Well, He is. Yeah. So, what high school did you go to?
I went to McKill Academy in Lakeland, Florida. It was a charter school. Honestly, the school is still standing.
Okay.
And the class that I was in, it was like a family class. Well, it was like a family school because you built a relationship with not only your classmates, but you built a relationship with your teachers, your principal, and all of those things like that. So that's the type of school McKill Academy was at that time. College, I went to college at Polk State University,
Okay.
which is in Lakeland. Um, and then after that, I transferred to Minnesota, and I got my associates in working. Finished up at Minneapolis Technical College, and I went to Metro State, which is in St. Paul. Um, Finishing up my bachelor's and things.
So what did you make? What your associates like? What did you get your degrees in?
So I got my degree in media production and
Okay.
videography and graphic design. When I finished up there, I transferred to the university, and I was getting my degree in journalism and videography and production. Well, who was my pastor? It was my folks. My folks was my pastor. Like, when we came here, we first okay. That's
Yeah, yeah, don't get yeah. They'll go back to we get back to that. Yeah. So you said you got a
media production.
okay. And what was you looking to do with that?
So in getting the degree in journalism and media production and graphics, so the school I was going to, Metro State, you can form your own degree. So
what
at this point in with the years that I have thus far, I left school. I left Metro when I in 2013, and so I went back up there last year. And so we were talking about it. And so basically, at this point with my degree, if I choose to pursue it, I can finish up my bachelor's and my master's and possibly do my doctoral all at the same time. Because I have journalism, I have graphic design, media production, marketing skills, and all those things like that, which has been my career.
right?
And then covering the type of stories that I've covered, I can definitely create a thesis and a book out of all of this. So, it's a lot of things, a lot of work. The degree part of it has really been something, because in college you learn a lot about everything else. And for me, being a church head, I came back to church and I started scratching my head like, is this what y'all really? And then, honestly, then we're going to stick to this college stuff, but going to college and going to church, I had so many questions.
Yes.
I was just like, now, if I spend money to get a college education, but I got to go to church and play dumb for these Negroes. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good. So,
okay. So I'm sorry. I'm pause for real quick because you said you had to play dumb for the. Like, can you elaborate on that, please?
So, when you get enlightened and you get educated on life, period, and then you go to church and then they expect for you to name it and claim it, put some grease on some stuff, lay hands on the car, things like that, and then you're not supposed to question God or question what's going on. It's like, no, I got a little bit more sense. When I pray with, a little bit more sense now. Like, I'm not going to be down here begging the Lord, especially when God give us talents and abilities to be able to make and do what we need to do in life.
Absolutely.
I don't.
It's up how we navigate it. It's like we make the decision how we navigate it. So that's why I'm glad you brought that up, because we tend to blame God, or we tend to I'm trying to word it correctly, as a defense mechanism, as a way of justifying our decisions. We kind of insert God into matters that we shouldn't, because we make the choice that we make. And I'm tired of people doing that, because they do that a lot now, Josh. You know that they always want to insert God when it's convenient as a means to an end. And so I'm glad you mentioned that. So, Kimberly Black asked the question: how do you apply the college skills with church engagement? I think he was getting into that.
So with college skills and church engagement, like, the church I was going to up north, because at that particular time, this was right after like Facebook started jumping off. This was right after YouTube, because I got started with YouTube 4 years after it, became a thing, YouTube platform. So I got into YouTube 4 years after the platform was introduced to the world.
Okay, so but before that, what did you get into before that? Because you said because I want to get more in depth into, before we move forward. I want to get in depth into. You said you got your degree in journalism
So
and
yeah.
media. And so, what did you do? What did you initially do with that once you got the degrees?
So when I got the degree, I was actually, doing some things at my church. And because, of my knowledge and understanding of cameras and graphics and everything, I was put over sound and the media. So I was bringing cameras from the school,
Okay.
up, recording things, doing, I was the guy that introduced to the world that there were black people in black churches in Minnesota, because nobody believed that. It was like, is niggas in Minnesota? I was like, yeah, it's black people up in Minnesota for real. So, I had people traveling, and this is real talk. This is real talk. I had people traveling from Alabama, Georgia, Texas to come to Minnesota, to come to this church,
Put them on the map.
to just see, all of this going on, because Minnesota is a place where it snows. And when you think of Minnesota, there's this movie called Fargo, and people think that that's all Minnesota is. But Minnesota is a place, and I'm gonna get back on this question. Minnesota is a place, is very diverse, especially in that Twin City area.
Okay.
It's very diverse, full of black and brown people. And there are white folks there, it is. But it's a melting pot of people, like all Somalians, Haitians, Creole, like everybody, Chicago, folks from Chicago, Mississippi, everybody, is there. I just couldn't do the snow no more. I couldn't do the snow. But anyway, my college skills, how I use it in church was my graphic design and journalism. I use that to give the church community a production of what it should look like.
Okay.
In that, I recorded the church when I was there at that time. When I worked in the ministry, I wanted to produce productions of something that would interest me.
Okay.
I wanted to put work out because I wanted to put work out that people would look at it and be like, oh, that's interesting. Because what people would do is, oh, I'm gonna record 5 minutes of me preaching and I'm gonna put it on. No, people don't. And this is real talk. Half these niggas can't preach, right? And you think because you can teach well that people are going to be interested. No, what you do is you record the hype parts, you add a little bit of a little small snippet of teaching, you grab the hype parts and maybe a little piece of praise break.
Yes.
Put that together and listen, this is the church right here. And so that's what I did before, multimedia really became major in the black church. I was the guy.
You was a real innovator at that time. Absolutely. Okay.
I was the guy that helped Church of God in Christ. I was the guy who helped show the church how to really, like, this is what the people want to see. Like,
absolutely.
They don't want to see you just up there.
They're just dragging out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they want to see the hype parts. Show me the choir. Give me something where if I happen to come to your town, I want to go to your church.
Right. Noted. Yeah. And so now with those skills you took to the church, so what type of occupation did you bring those skills to? Like, what did you at that time, as far as, if you don't mind me asking?
So to be honest with you, to be very honest with you, I call myself getting a regular job. Like I work for Life Touch, that didn't last long.
What's Life Touch?
The camera people that used to come to the schools.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. So I used to work. So I didn't know that their headquarters, I think their headquarters is in Minnesota. So I used to travel to, I think it was Blaine or something. and I would work in the office. And so I would work in the company where they would, they would.
All right, y'all need to behave yourselves up in this chat. I'm trying to, keep John's focus. Y'all gonna stop this now.
So yes, Mama Wanda. So they
I'm gonna get on them. Hold on, John. Let me get these people together. If y'all don't stop behaving in church, I'm gonna make y'all put y'all one finger up and excuse yourselves about the building, okay? All right, y'all gonna behave up in here. Proceed.
So Life Touch was a company. They would go around and take pictures at schools, and they would send out
people. Oh, Life Touch. Okay. You said cameras. I'm like, okay. You say the graduation pictures. You mean pictures?
Picture day, graduation. Okay. They would be the ones that come out to the school.
So thank you, Cruiser. I was like, okay, because he wasn't specific at all. So thank you, Miss Cruiser.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I still got my badge in there. I mean, the badge is old, so I still got my badge from when I worked there. Then I used to work at when I first got to Minnesota, I used to work at I used to move furniture.
Okay. Oh, you was a mover?
Yeah, when I got there, my uncle was
you did manual labor? Okay.
Yeah, I did manual labor, girl. Whoa. So I used to move furniture, and I'm telling y'all, the hardest thing to do is move furniture in the snow. I'm about like 20, 30, 50 degrees below freezing. And and then you had to walk up these stairs. You got to walk in these people. And the thing with that really humbled me is because, I come from, I'm spoiled, life is very different to now I have to move furniture. And I'm here in Minnesota. I have family, but I don't really know a whole lot of people. And you walk in these people's houses, they act all ooh, ooh, ooh. I was like, I know you testing me right now. I know you testing me.
That's what you about. What you providing a service? You're doing your job.
I'm telling you, like some people when they are, and it depends on the side of town that you go into. They was very like real. And some people were very nice, because I've always felt like when you have people that are rendering a service to you, it is your best to be kind to people.
Yes.
Always be kind and friendly to people because you never know who you're coming across. You never know who you're really entertaining. And it's just best in life to just be kind to people.
Yes.
It's just the truth. So that's the way I was even in church. So in the media part, I just took a lot of everything in my life experiences. And after all of that, I was even working in the bookstore at the school. And after that, I was like, I can't find a job. And I remember I was walking through the hallway, getting ready to go to my next class. And I just heard the Spirit tell me, what do you want to do? And I was doing my degree because I changed my degree like 4 or 5 times. I was going to be a doctor of psychology.
Oh gosh, you one of those professional students, just like my pastor.
Listen, I was going to be a doctor of psychology. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be and then at that point, it was like, okay, what do you want? So I changed my degree to videography, media production. And at that point, I was already doing graphics. I've been doing graphics forever, but people was paying me to do the work, but they was like, well, what degree do you have? And so I was like, well, okay, let me go finish up my degree so I can start charging.
Right. Yeah.
So,
so before you get into that, because I really want to get more into, because this is your lane right here. So I wanted to know, what was it? I know you said the Spirit, but what else, kind of registered within you to decide to go that route as far as the media and go more into that lane?
Because I was good at it. Like the way I would work them cameras, the way I would capture the put flyers together. Like there's like a core group of us that was graphic designers before graphic designers.
Yes.
was on the map. So, I didn't necessarily go to school to learn to do what I do. I learned this just off the dome. And I just went to school to perfect my skill in my craft.
You like climb.
So at that point, I was like, I'm just gonna do my own business. So, I just started doing business over here, business over there. Anybody who needed a flyer, I just did a flyer. I was doing it all over the place, just working and all that stuff. Yeah, it just, I at that point, I just developed my own business many years ago, and I just started working for myself. So I've never really had, as an adult, I've never really had
A 9 to 5.
a 9 to 5 job because I did it myself. And then Mama Wanda said, I'm really trying to sign up for them for
Me too, ma'am. Me too.
listen. I was online teaching people what I do. I was teaching this stuff and I was charging $1,500, and it was like I would say a 6-week course. And I would help people with their graphics. I would teach them. I would show them. And when it came down to the videography, I would teach them, show them how to put their stuff together. And, that was that. And I appreciate the students that I did have at that time. I think it was very beneficial because I took my college skills and I taught
church and what you did in church as well. But I also want to find out because I love the fact that you get into what you love to do and you was able to be paid for it, because that's the most important thing. But I also want to know, because there has been a grind there. There was a grind there before you started to really profit off of it and make it lucrative for yourself. There was a time where there was some loss. So I really want to get more into that, because I think a lot of people to this day don't understand the reality of that. When you're self-employed, you don't just up and just profit off of that. You don't just make it right away. You get the tail end of that. You get how people they talk about the outcome of how they worked hard towards where they are. You see the how successful they are. You see the wealth and the blessing that came with it, but you don't see the grind or the grit. Give us some of that grind and grit that you had to deal with.
So when I first started, started my own business and everything like that, you have to do, especially church folks, church nickels. They want to nickel and dime you and everything like that. And
family.
Sometimes, family too. Sometimes you working for free, because all the work that I did at my church, I was doing it for free.
Yeah, you got to prove yourself. You got to set up a portfolio. You got to know, they got to know what you can do.
So what I did was I took everything that I had done, and I just start developing a portfolio of I did this. Here goes some graphic work, all of this, so that if I ever went to go work for a media company, that I had, I had work that can show, hey, this is what I did. All of that really helped perfect the person that I am today.
But I'm sorry to cut you off, but I really want to get more into, like I said, the grind of it all. For that, I know there was moments, times where you were, starving, you ain't know where your bills, I want to get gritty.
So let me do that. So I remember when I first really started out in my own and doing business, I was still a college student, and I was living in this huge mansion apartment building. And, even though I was paying for rent with my school check,
okay,
I still had to live. I still had a car.
You still had to eat. You still had to pay bills. Yes.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It was hard trying to find.
That's what I want to get into, because a lot of people don't understand that part of it. So that's what I'm going to get into.
When I say it was very difficult starting out as a college student, trying to pay car insurance, trying to have food. Baby, I was on food stamps at one point. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm just saying, I was on food stamps. I got some assistance and everything of that nature. And it's like, I kept grinding because I was like, at some point it's going to do what it need to do. And at that time, I was still like, oh, Lord, help me, all of that. So it was real difficult because, it was, okay, I'm getting the graphics in, I'm getting it done, but it, to some degree, sometimes it wasn't enough.
It
And
was. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going right here begging people to help me or whatever, but, it was really difficult, you making just enough, to do what you need to do. You're making just enough to make ends meet, all of that. And so people think that, oh, you just booming like that. No, 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 no.
And then you also think about, when you are self-employed, there's no health benefits, there's no 401k, there's, no dental. So how did you acquire that?
So don't get me wrong. Like, I was around here riding dirty. Like, not.
I know what you mean.
I had license, but I just didn't have insurance, and I had to get around. And I had a car, I had some keys, and I had a clear license, and so it was. Even being a college student, young and a college student, I didn't have nobody there to teach me the ways of what I needed. I really learned about financial business from a pastor that I had up north, and Pastor Hill, and just teaching me how to do everything, how to save money, stocks and bonds, and everything like that, so that you don't have to, like, when you get 50 and 60 years old, you can just kind of chill. Like, if you have a certain amount in a Fidelity account, you can live off the interest and everything like that.
Absolutely.
So, for me, I learned from other people because I didn't have that, by the time I was grown, like, I didn't have my father around to teach me these things. I had to learn it. My dad, we talk about it, but at that particular time, I had to learn all of these things. And so now at the age that I'm at now, it's like just putting things in place. I ain't rich by no means, and I ain't got no money. But I'm not speaking that. Let me just be clear. I'm not speaking that.
Right.
But just trying to plan, with $0 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Plan like how I want to do it, and every little quarter count. I'm not on YouTube, Facebook begging, oh, y'all give, hey, I would love for the people to donate and be a blessing to the show.
Yes.
It's like sometimes the people don't. So I had to develop other means of income.
Yes, other streams, yes.
I had to develop other streams of income, multiple streams. I had to start the crowns that I was wearing. Yes. I made those for people.
How did that come about, Jives? How did that come about? The crowns. Thank you for bringing that up. How did that come about?
So the crowns came about because when I started my show, I was like, okay, so I always call myself King Jives. It's just what it is.
Yeah, and we'll get into that because that's that goes into the YouTube space, and I want to get more into that. So pause that, bookmark that one as far as how you became King Jives.
So what I did was when I started my shows, like heavily started my shows, I was like King Jives. So I was like, let me go over here to Party City. So I went to Party City.
Okay.
Got me a little crown. I put some, little plastic jewels on there. So that gold crown that you see that's in the pictures, that's my very first crown.
Wow.
I still got it in here in the cabinet.
City crown? Party City crown?
Huh?
That's a Party City crown? The one that you talking about?
The one that the gold one is a plastic crown.
Really?
And I had just bejeweled it everywhere.
Wow, okay.
So when I got into, I went to some rock show and I just started getting some stones. And so that's where that one came from.
Let me see. Let's show us.
I made this many years ago.
Nice.
And so you see the inside is crowned up and it's stoned up and everything.
Jeweled, yes.
What I did was I just took, and this is heavy as hell. I took stoned it, and I perfected the craft. I didn't want to just look like it was thrown because I'm a creative person. I'm an artsy person, thing like that. So I just took my time and put together something that was beautiful. Um. Oh, anyways, I'm gonna leave that alone, Mama Wanda.
Yeah.
So, so
I told you, Mama Wanda. I'm not gonna tell you again now to behave up here. I told you, you're gonna put your finger up and you're gonna excuse yourself from the building. I keep telling you. Oh, carry on.
so what I did was, I just started perfecting the craft, and I was just honestly, doing more. I was honestly, I had people ask me about it, and so at that particular time, that was 2018. I had a young lady. She asked me. I think I probably made her like 20 crowns,
What?
and she would pay me. She would send me money.
You know what she need them for? I'm curious now. What she need them for?
Oh, she just wanted them. She just wanted support and wanted. She got her dad one made before he passed. I think it was a black crown. It was really nice. And so she would just say, Mario, I'm finna sing you some money. And I'm gonna just say, make me a brown one, make me a purple one. And you just be creative. And so what I did was, baby, she would send me 1,500 here, 2,000 here. And she would say, make me this crown. Cause at that time I was charging like $1,500. So she was sending me money so frequently, it was like, make me a crown.
She retained you. Actually, she retained you to make the crown. So let me ask you also, how long? Two-part question. How long it takes for you to make one crown, and what do you use now? What type of jewels do you use now to make your crowns? To charge that much?
So at that time I was charging $1,500. Now I charge $2,500.
Okay.
It would take me roughly 2 to 3 weeks.
One.
Stuff has to dry, stuff has to set,
right,
secure. I was doing stuff for funeral homes. I would have people call me the week of a funeral or a crown that was going in the ground, and I'd be so mad because I made some beautiful stuff that's in the ground.
Just bury them in.
Just buried them. Just.
What type of jewels do you use?
Swarovski. I use actual rock crystals. I would use high quality stones. Everything. If it's not high quality Swarovski, genuine stones, like I don't put nothing plastic on this. Nothing, baby, because it need to blink. It need to.
Yes.
It needs to shine. Jesus. It need to shine. It need when you turn the head, it need to go blink, blink, blink. That's what it need to do. That's what it need to do. So
yeah.
So I got into that, and it's just been a thing ever since then. And so I'm not making them like I used to.
Right.
But I always tell people, because one guy inboxed me and he wanted a crown, and then he was talking about something. Oh, I didn't know it was gonna be that much, but let me think about it.
Okay, well that okay.
What you think I'm making crowns for $200?
he expected one of those Party City crowds from back in the day.
and see, Faith, the thing is, like, you have to take, like, I got instruments to do all of this stuff. And I remember when the beef sector had got a hold of me. Oh my God. They were clowning so bad with my crown. Oh, I can make this. I can make that. I can do it.
But did they?
No.
Please.
Because I remember one lady, she called herself trying to advertise like she making some stuff, and it just looked so horrible. I was like,
God, I wish you could name me. It wouldn't be messy so bad.
I forgot her name, but I just happened to somebody sent it to me, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I went through that whole transition on social media with everything.
Okay.
Like, with the creative skills. So let me transition for you.
I was gonna go there. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
With the creative skills on social media, whether it was crowns, whether it was graphics, whether it was just me, I went through those periods of just
to the table.
Yeah, like people had an issue with just every little thing. Like, oh, he think he cute, he think he all this and all that, and at some point I was kind of like, is there a problem? I had a slew of women coming after me. They was dragging me. I had a fur coat hanging up behind me. The one lady, I forgot her name. She dead now. She had vitiligo and she was clowning me because I was in my closet with a fur. I mean, baby, I was like, and then when I did the crowns or having the crown, everybody had an issue, all this stuff. I was like, dang, I can't win for fucking losing.
Yeah, it goes. You yes.
I'm handsome. I'm creative. I'm innovative. I
That's
do my own show.
Jives. Those are threats. Those are threats to these people. You got into the thick of it.
And so, at that, honestly, and even now, the beefs that I have been involved in.
To that, but let's go back to the transition. So you went from that, you brought all these skills to the table. So along with the media, the graphics, the designing, the crowns, and you decided to do YouTube. Why?
I had been on social media since 2000, well, before 2008, because I was on.
So why did you do why did you decide to go into this space period?
I decided to do this because I wanted to do something fun.
Got you.
That was the reason why I got on YouTube. All of this stuff. I got on because I wanted to do something fun. And so it went from that to I was like dealing with these preachers and these pastors and stuff, and they was doing a whole bunch of crooked stuff. And I was like, well, let me tell it.
We talk about it, right?
We talk about it, And so that's how King Jives got birthed. And so, I think one of my first situations was Brian Carn, and his stories and stuff like that. And so, for me, I got on social media because I honestly, hey, Paul, I wanted preachers. And I thought it was nothing wrong with it. I wanted preachers to be accountable, and I wanted people to do.
Got you. Noted.
I wanted preachers to do right. I wanted folks to be saved for real. And unbeknownst to me, I guess I was just living in a fairy tale because these niggas ain't, you know what I'm saying? And it's like they do. Not everybody. Not
all, but some of them not worthy of the pulpit. So that's how it all came about. Because I always wondered, okay, before we get into the church sector part, because I want to know how that came about. But I want to learn more about your transition into the platform, into the YouTube space. I want to learn more about that and how did you get into that. So yeah, I want to learn more about that.
So I remember one of my first situations, outside of the situation with my pastor up north, was Brian Carn.
Okay.
I had met Brian Carn years ago. He was flirting and everything, rubbing all on my hand, all in my eyes and stuff. Like, child. So, because in my head, I was like, well, baby, if you're googly eyeing me, who else are you? I'm like, baby, I'm not going to be no pass around.
I'm not so special.
I'm not about to be no pass around. But I ain't got a problem with Brian or anything like that. I just, those are just my interactions with him. But that was one of my many stories. And I got tired of people in the pulpit bashing people, and you're involved with the people that you talk about right in the pulpit.
Yes. So right. So okay. So it started with Brian Carn, and so you was doing some commentary on him. It started there. And so how did it come up? Because that was a foundation, right? That was a foundation.
That was all my foundation. Yeah.
Part of the foundation. So yes, please like this video. Thank you, Dr. Creole, Lieber Butterfly. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Please like this video and please support both platforms. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I appreciate the support so much. Shout out to every one of you. So it started there. So is that the transition into the church? Was it okay? Let me ask you this: did the church sector already exist, or was it that many of y'all? Like, how did that whole? So it kind of you set the tone for that. Correct?
So there was. Well, I wouldn't say myself by myself. There were many people before me. There was like Steve Harvey. Tom Joyner Morning. So hey, Miss Regina. There was Ricky Smiley. You know, they were on major platforms. People like myself, and you
But
know,
were they doing like? I know they like they
no,
were
they were
like
doing it like they were not doing it like
you.
we
Yeah,
were.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. So it was a different type of thing.
So honestly, with everything that was going on, it was a group of us. It was myself, Leonard the Truth Speaker, Marjorie Tab, um, pimppreachers.com,
Mm,
and Rock and the Old Baptist Church.
mm.
It was quite a few of us that were out here. And I mean, of course, you know, there's a scarecrow, beetle monster, you know, but whatever. Um, so it was a lot of people out here that was reporting on the degradation that was in the church.
Especially the black church.
And shout out to Lipstick Alley, because
Oh yes, yes. You can't forget about them.
Lipstick Alley
Woo.
was out here a long time and still out here
Yes, they are. Yes.
because we were putting the stories out, and this was way before social media became what it is today. Because I think had it not been for YouTube, Facebook, Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
Vine, a lot of people would know what's going on. So now that we have the social media that we have today, you know, it's hard for y'all to really get away with anything, because it's like you,
Woo.
you do something, baby, it's gonna be on the tube.
Yes, it is. So let me ask you this. So, because based on your because you're a controversial figure, I'm gonna say that you're very controversial at this point. So how did it become? I mean, I understand the fact that you speaking on people and all this is public. So it's like I'm trying to figure out. Can you tell me in your own words, your own opinion, why overall would be the pushback for you guys, to come on your platform to repeat what's already out there? Is it how it's being delivered? Like, is it the way it's being put out there? Because I'm wondering, like, if it's already public and first of all, your main focus should be on your actions, first of all, and accountability, as you mentioned. But why is it that, in your own words, in your perspective, why do you think people like yourself get all this pushback and lawsuits?
Well, it's not that we get lawsuits, because I mean,
Or cease and desist. So,
the thing is, it's like when it comes down to that, um you can't negate the truth, right? You can't negate if this information that I'm talking about is public knowledge. If there is a pastor or preacher that has been inappropriately touching a child, and this information is coming out, and boom, we got the documents. You can't sue over liable truth, right? And so that was one of the things I dealt with yeah, they can try, huh?
Oh no.
They can try, but the thing is that when I talked about Lamar Whitehead, I talked about things that were in the court.
right. It
I
was,
talked
it was
about
put out there.
I think I talked about things that were public knowledge. And that go for anybody who I've ever discussed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Things that was public knowledge and already out here. Period. I don't care if your tooth got snatched out your mouth. If it became public, we talked about it.
It was content, right? Mm-hmm.
So with all the I would say this sector's content creators, like it was very cool, because sometime I would put a story out, and then Leonard and Marjorie then would take it and add more to it, or I will go over to their page and find something and hear something about what they're doing, and I would take their story and add more to it. And either we would give credit or whatever, or their video was there and you saw the little watermark or whatever.
Right.
It was that time, because what I do now, I don't know who this person is, but Joy 105, I see their stuff, and I will take their videos and I will replay it, and I will shout them out, because again, honestly, there really is nothing exclusive.
No, not at all.
Like
Not
I,
at all.
I got an exclusive story. Well, your
Mm-mm.
exclusive story is probably 4 or 5 times. So, anyways,
Right.
so I would share people's content on this page, on my page, and send people to different things. And that's why I would say I've been successful for this long, is because it doesn't matter what store, whether you like me or whether you don't, like, you can always go and validate my story. Like, no if, ands, or buts. You can always go and validate the story. And you know that, like this morning when I was live and I was talking about Church of God in Christ and Drew shared them and all this money they said that they don't have or whatever, you can go and validate it because there's the link to their tax return.
There's a source. There's always sources out there, and then who are you? I mean, what's the point of you having a platform if you're not able to deliver or able to relay whatever's going on? So let me ask you, Jives, with all that you put out there and all the years that you've been doing this so far, what would you say was your first real beef? Who with whom?
I would say my first beef on social media,
Whatever you want to call it,
was with this lady, Letitia Brown.
Letitia Brown.
Now her name is Hood Evangelist online.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So Hood, matter of fact, and she was another one. Let me just give her props. Hood Evangelist was another one that was out here reporting on all the craziness, but she just had a way about it. And so our beef was, she said I took a story from her, and I don't want to rehash this because I hope she healed from it. Because
please.
Not in
question, just as a disclaimer, I'm the one that asked the question, so don't blame Jives. Jives is just revisiting what I asked about. I asked the question.
Yeah, we were kind of cool at first.
Don't hold back, please.
we were kind of cool at first, but she said I had took a story from her, and I remember this like it was yesterday. I had people calling me, telling me about what was going on or whatever, and so I just repeated a story that I had heard about. I think it was Todd Hall, because it was about Todd Hall having on some leopard draws or leopard thongs or whatever. That's what she said. So, so after that, it was like a whole drag session. It was every other day she was coming after me. It was, oh, he gay. And then she made a video. I still have this video. She said, oh, he got AIDS and he gonna die. And
over a story? Are you sure that was all there is? That all it was? Okay.
Well, see, at that time, I think I was like at 20-some thousand subscribers, and she had a few hundred, 1,000 or something.
Okay.
And, I'm just constantly putting out things, and so it was and plus the way that I was doing my videos back in the day, like I was adding, and that's the part, I was adding my skills. I was taking Housewives of Atlanta clips, including my videos, and I was taking movie clips and pinching them in, and sound effects and graphics that would slide in. So when like what we do now is
back then. Mm-hmm.
It's simple. It's simple because back then they didn't have live buttons.
Right.
You had to sit there and you had to put your
yes.
You had to edit and put your work together. And so I had a Hewitt Packard, and baby, I was lining them videos up, putting things together, and
wow.
So I would have a 30-minute video that took me a couple of days to do. Now I get done with it, it's like, oh wow. So I would do that because I did that with Brian, Juanita, Eddie Long, and all of this stuff like that. So yeah, so that was one of the first beefs. And then, people would get upset because, I am a openly y'all don't believe. I know y'all they don't believe me, but that's okay.
I now, but okay.
Listen, and I said, hey, I'm gay, whatever.
Okay, but come and think of that, sis. I mean, I don't see how. But anyway, have you ever dipped into Lady Pond? Have you ever dipped into Lady Pond before?
No, I've dated girls before. I've dated girls, and I actually
took it there?
Huh?
You never took it there?
I wanted to, but the girl that I was dating, she said, "Oh, I'm just here. I'm just having fun." Now, me personally, we get off subject, but me personally, I was like, if I'm dating you, like, let's take it to the next level. And when she said, "Oh, I'm just having fun," I was like, "Oh, baby, I'm not here to have fun."
Oh, you,
baby,
let's explore some things.
I'm here to, baby, let's be serious. Let's take it to the next level. Let's go there, because I feel like if I'm out here and I can date a dude and, we're dating or whatever, it is what it is. So like, I was like, okay, so I'm date a girl. It is what it is. Let's, and so I just think, because I was such this, and this, I'm just being honest, this may sound like cocky and a more, but I was this hot commodity at this time where I lived. And so I wasn't new meat, but I was hot meat. And so,
you remember that?
Kimberly Black. She looks familiar because I met a lot of people there, and I still got the videos of when I did my little, seminar thing there. But yeah, I met a lot of people at Jay Wilson House. Yeah.
Speaking of that, how did that come about to where he contacted you about that to make an appearance there?
So the truth is, Jay Wilson is somewhat from the Kojic Church. So we connected on that. We had stories because he used to live down south in Miami, and we would talk about those things. And then he was like, Jives, I like what you're doing. My numbers were growing. I was, doing what I do. And so he invited me to come over to Texas. That was 2019. And he invited me to come over. No, I think it was 18. It might have been 18. And so I went over there and, I had a great time. And, at that time, that was a part of the whole beef sector situation too.
Yes.
Because everybody was like, they didn't like Jay Wilson and they was mad at him because him and Tracy had a beef, and him and her and 5A and all of these others had a beef. So when I showed up on the scene, everybody was like, well, who is he? And so then they was like, oh, is Jay Wilson and him screwing? And I was like,
I remember that rumor.
And I was like, no, like what is y'all problem? Oh, honey, it was a whole to do. And so I remember I was even at the house one day and they was the whole time I probably was there from like a couple days. The whole time I was there, it was Jives and this, Jives J room. And I think one of the rooms me and 5A was screwing. I was like, what? Oh, now I have to give Jay Wilson the credit. He was a great host. We had a great, wonderful time there. I got a chance to see San Antonio. I got a chance to meet one of my moderators. She's a great lady, Miss Monique Howard. Great woman, just absolutely amazing. She became Auntie Mo to me. I met a lot of people that I just kind of met through my show, through social media, and just cool people. And people really, they be shocked because they think I'm gonna be the same way on the show that I am in person. I'm like, y'all, when I get off of here,
right? Right. Totally different. You really are Jives, in real life, because I think a lot of times people have a hard time keeping it separate, and I think that's what it is. And so, and getting into that, how do you keep it separate, and what advice would you give to content creators who kind of so invested in this, and it's fine because I mean, there's nothing wrong with investing in this because this is something that you want to grow into. This is something you want to put your all into. You want to be half-ass about it. So, what advice would you give myself, who's just starting out, or anybody else in what in their trajectory in this space? How do you separate this from your real life?
So King Jives is a persona.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Kimberly King, yes. When I come on and I do all now, it's just this. It's a person like I love to have fun, love to crack jokes, all of those things like that. I don't spend 24 hours of my day worrying about what Church of God in Christ doing. Jamal, Brian, Juanita, Brennan Clacks, these new people on the block that are out here. I don't spend 24 hours a day worrying about what Donald Trump doing or
Mm-hmm.
what the deceased dead Charlie Kirk was doing. I like when I get through putting my show together, doing my show, like I turn this off, I just want to go lay in my bed, go play with my dogs, or go deal with my fish and watch TV or something like that. I don't want to think about it. And when people be calling my phone trying to ask me about stuff, I'm like,
I'm clocked out.
Listen, you get me when I'm in show mode. I don't want to hear nothing about these raggedy ass people. Jesus. But that's the thing. Like you have to get to a place where you turn it on, turn it off. Like you can't faith as you grow. You can't be show faith 24 hours a day.
Right.
Because you'll get tired of yourself and other people will too.
I
couldn't be King Jives show 24 hours. I cannot. First of all, I don't care about let me say Let me say this out loud. I do not care about y'all tea. I don't. When I get it, I may, do a little investigation for the show, and that's it. I don't care. I don't care about who's sleeping with who's sticking their wang wang here, who's sticking their coochie bread there. I don't care. And so when people sit out here and they get nervous when I show up, because like I've gone to churches and people get nervous. Oh, I remember some years ago, I went to a church kind of up the road from my house, and they're like, oh my God, King is here. Oh Lord.
Shells.
You gonna have us on the show.
Got them shook.
It's like I tell people, like I really love God for real, and I love church. Maybe not as much as I used to, but I love God, I love church. I love to just go and enjoy all the extra drama that goes along. I'm telling you, I told a pastor many years ago when I first got here, he found out I was ill, and I showed up to his church. He was like, well, Jive. I said, listen, I could care less about what you got going on. I can name drop right now. I'm telling you, and I just had to let the people know, like, I don't care for that. Like, I just don't. If you know me in real life, and matter of fact, who was I talking to? I was talking to my brother, my god brother, Gerard in Lakeland. Me and my cousin DT, we were all hanging out that day, and we were talking, and so my folks either called me three things. Certain people call me by my middle name, but you either call me Mario or you call me DeMario.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You call me King Jives, you don't know the fuck I am. I'm just letting you know right. You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know me. If I'm with you, if me and Faith hanging out, and somebody says, "Oh my God, King! Oh my God, I've known King for years." No, you don't. No, you don't.
They're a fan.
You ain't known me for years, cause baby, my folks call me. I'm telling you, my folks call me by my name, or they call me Mario, and they not fans. They're not.
There's a difference. Mm-hmm.
It's just Mario.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like when my cousins them, they be talking to people. And they were like, "Oh yeah, I watched the dude named King Jives." Like, "Oh yeah, that's my cousin." Stop lying, that ain't your cousin. I told my brother Gerard, I said, Gerard, how do people act when you tell them that I'm your brother? Like, how do they act? They be like, "Oh, you lying. You don't know Jives." I'm like, that's the part right. When you call me Jives, you call me King Jives, or Jives. You don't know me. You don't know me.
Gotcha. So let me ask you, Jives. Jives. Let me ask you, so where do you stand with the church? Yourself. Where do you stand with the church?
Honestly, where I stand with the church is, if I ever do decide to go, I go.
Okay.
I am not caught up in all of the fanfare that has been going on, because like I know for myself, I'm not caught up in, oh, you going to hell, all this, because the longer you live faith, the more you understand that a lot of things that we were taught is hogwash. It's a level of control and scare tactics to keep you coming, to keep you in fear of leadership.
Mm.
Me and my dad had this conversation many years ago. And, at that time I was real deep. I was, they said I was going to be an apostle. And I was horrible Sanda. Or I thought I was big. Yeah. But you grow up and you study. I went to college and I go to church, and I'm like, something about this don't add up. And then, the whole Jesus and he's white or he's black. And I'm like, what is it? Right? And it's like the confusion that we deal with in the church. And Faith, this is honestly where I stand.
Mm-hmm.
This is honestly where I stand. I'm not going to be a college educated man and go back to a congregation of people that are willfully dumb. And you feel like Jesus is going to come down here on his chariot. God going to come down. Jesus and God going to come down their chariot and drop some stuff in your lap. And they're going to gift you this. And everything's going to be peaches and creams. No, I had to get out of that. I had to unlearn all of that spiritual retardation. I had to be 100 with myself and honestly understand that God and the spirit, the ancestors, everybody in them, everything happens for a reason in life. If you want something, yes, it's good to pray. It's good to fast. It's good to do all them things. But it's also, the Bible says that man should work while it's day, because when it's night, no man can work. So it's good for you to have a plan in your life. What do you want to do? Preparations, work towards. You should have goals and dreams. God is you on this just for you to just be endowed with foolishness, so you can sit out here and look all whatever. No. So I when I got to that point, I was like, okay, I really don't need all of that. I got a room closet full of clothes that I've had for years from just convocation and events, and I'm trying to get down to it now because a few pounds, but it's like I'm not trying to have church brain. I'm not trying to have church brain. What was that?
That was boom.
Oh,
point. You made a point. See,
like, wait. I'm not trying to have church brain and be stuck on stupid. And then it's like, people sitting out here, you be in church for 30, 40 years and you waiting on God to do something when you should have the accountability yourself to go make it happen. He said, if you want something to happen, you go and start the work. Yes. I'll open up spiritually. I'll open up doors for you and all of this stuff. That's why I had to learn about spirituality.
Yeah, you have to relearn. You have to retrain yourself, Yeah, because it's very important. Because even though going back to what you said about, because I understand the part you said about spiritual retardation, which is like a profound thing that you said just now. And it's not that because I grew up in the church. I mean, I grew up, Kojic, 7-Day Christian, Baptist, non-denominational. So I've had, an opportunity to experience all different aspects of spirituality, Christianity, religion. So that's the foundations piece. So I don't want us to kind of tear away from that. But also as we get older and we know better, we got to do better. So that's my point. So I think that's what you're driving into, knowing better and then doing better, kind of researching on your own and having your own interpretation on what it is.
So
Yeah.
what I did was I had and Jim, that's so true. God helps those who help themselves. I had to unlearn all of the spiritual foolishness. And because we were running for prophecies and all of this stuff like that, paying money so we can get a word from the Lord. And I'm like, you know what? If somebody's going to prophesy to me, you better be prophesying something to me that only me and God know. You better not have been researched.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When people talk to me, you better have some from on high because you already know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna sit out here, oh yeah, and see somebody gonna tell me, yeah, I see God opening the door with Tyler Perry, and I see a production studio. Please tell me something else other than the obvious. Please tell me something else other than what you done conjured up in your mind, because I don't hear that. Tell me something that only you and God, that God has sent down and really said, because I'm too old to play them little games. You're not gonna get no $100 out of. Let me tell you something, Faith. My mom was doing a revival, and she had brought a family member of mine to preach. And he was doing an offering, and I had said then, I was like, God, I need a miracle. No lie. I said, God, I need a miracle. Now I know this man is full of shit. I know this man is full of shit. Because of my faith, and I'm really believing. So, I put out my little $100 and I just went up there and gave it, and I sat down. And I said, now, Lord, I have faith that you can do anything. Now, mind you, didn't happen. I was like, well, Lord, gave him $100, whatever. But I've learned that whatever is supposed to happen to you and for you in life, it's going to happen.
Yes.
Allowing people to manipulate you into doing things because you're so thirsty and you're wanting what they're offering. Like y'all run around here for a pathetic word is stupid. But honestly, with all of that, I had to unlearn all of that to get to this place to where I know God, the Spirit, for myself. I'm not caught up in what you agree with, what you don't agree with, what you don't like. Because all of this, y'all, the gay is going to hell. Well, let me tell you something. Yeah, because I was finna cuss. So I'll leave that. Because what's up, Robert? All of that, you going to hell and everything like that. Like I don't prescribe to it. I don't get with it because again, I'm coming to a conclusion. Even the longer I live, to this heaven and hell thing. It's seeming like to me that everybody and their mom and them can go to heaven, and only people that we deem as bad is going to hell.
Yeah, who they deem. Mm-hmm.
And it's like if something that you think outside the Bible or inside the Bible, you go against. Let me tell you something. I look at history. I look at time, how people have evolved. I look at how the Bible have evolved and everything like that. people love to scare you with going to hell.
Mm-hmm.
My brother Robert, and they go, Tony, I see you, Tony. My brother Robert, he and I, we have worked together on some things. And honestly, with the trauma that men and women have dealt with in church, it's absolutely crazy.
Yes.
And the many stories that I have done, it's you this is the reason why I have taken a back seat somewhat.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't do a lot of the things I used to do. I mean, I still post content and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but it got so draining for me, the same story after the same story, and all these Negroes that's in high position, and then these folks out here telling me, "Don't you talk about the man of God? Don't you talk about?" And I'm like,
Still
"But
a man. He's still a man.
y'all not gonna address this situation." So just like this morning when I was live and I was talking about the whole financials and stuff, I had people coming on talking about, "Oh, you coming against a man of God?" I'm like, but they're lying to y'all. Like, I mean, just all this stuff. Anyways,
Yeah,
and,
yeah, the truth is not always. I mean, people want to hear the truth, but they don't want to hear it. They want to hear the watered down version or what is diluted version. But let me ask you, Josh, what is salvation like to you, King Josh?
salvation for me. Now, I had to study what salvation was.
Okay.
When I read my Bible, and it really did mess with my Holy Ghost salvation, sanctification.
Mm-hmm.
Read what salvation was in the Bible. Salvation was when it says when the Lord comes and saves you out of a situation, that's salvation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Saved. And it's ironically that we have to be saved a lot. We have to be saved a lot. We get in trouble, the Lord comes and some kind of way we get saved. And we about to get hit by
Yeah, Hosanna.
we about we about to get hit by a car. A
Mm-hmm.
miracle comes, we get saved. Um hey, um accident happens or something happens, you got to get rushed to the hospital, you get saved.
Yes.
The Lord comes and a miracle's performed,
Yes.
you get saved. So and then the indwelling of the Holy Spirit and everything. People say we catch the Holy Ghost. You don't catch the Holy Ghost. But it's a lot of things like that. But what I understand about the whole thing about being saved, sanctified, and baptized and filled with the Holy Spirit, all of this stuff, it really truly is a lifestyle. It is a something that you learn as you go in life. To me, what I know about the Holy Spirit is that the Holy Spirit is a keeper. The Holy Spirit will bring things back to your remembrance. The Holy Spirit helps you and guides you along the way.
Yes.
And that's the same thing with like the indwelling of the Spirit, being saved. You're going to be saved constantly all throughout your life.
And boy, do we need it. Oh, Jesus. Can you imagine what would our life be like without salvation, Giles? I mean, can you imagine the grace and mercy that is put upon us on a regular? Can you
And
imagine?
and not only that, Faith, but what I have learned about God, Yahweh,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
what I have learned about it is that when you honestly have that personal relationship, Faith, I be making songs. I ain't trying to put too much tea out there, but I be making songs
Yeah, that's fine.
and just how I honestly feel about how God is in my life. When they say if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, I don't know where I would be, because I'm grateful for grace. I'm grateful for mercy. I'm grateful that every day, I have the opportunity to do something new. I have the opportunity to be better. I have the opportunity to be great. I'm not stuck on what these people think about me, because one thing about it, when I years ago when I experienced the presence of God for myself, the love of God for myself. That's why when people was talking about all you gay going to hell, well, I'm like, baby, they the conversation me and God had.
Mm-hmm. That's what you right, and that's what people don't understand. You know, your relationship with God is yours.
And so with that, it's like I can't tell you faith. I cannot tell you what's gonna happen when that your eyes close. I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is while you're on this earth, live the best life with some discipline and
Mm,
enjoy every moment. Because again, I would hate to be the person to, if you so happen to wake up at judgment and God say, what did you do with your life?
mm-hmm.
I prayed. I prayed, God. I fasted and things, and Lord, whoo, Lord. No, like there's a whole world out here for you to see, experience. And the Bible tells me it's, and this was my old Easter speech. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works
And
and
go
glorify the
by
Father
your
in heaven. This is why I always tell people it pays to be kind to many people, because you don't know who you may meet along the way and then meet down the road. You may never know. You may never know who may be the person that may be the person that's going to open a door for you. And because of your kindness, because of your presence, because of the light that you shown to them, baby, you just walked into a blessing.
yes.
I wanted you, like the church folks say, you may walk into a multi-million-dollar deal. Whatever your blessing is, you may walk into it because of the kindness that you gave to somebody else, the love that you shown to somebody else. Now, here's the thing. I honestly feel like this. There are some people that I hate I even gave my time to. Hello.
Right.
Oh Lord.
I ain't gonna lie to you. There's some peoples that I hate I even wasted. I had some people I hate I even wasted my time with on the internet, off the internet. I just hate I did it because it's like it's such a waste. And it's like the things that y'all see on the internet now, it's a waste.
Mm-hmm,
People can't even tell you why they mad.
mm-hmm.
People can't even tell you why they don't like you. They just don't like you.
Just
People,
don't.
people
Mm-mm.
can't tell you what's the beef. They can't tell you. Like folks over there, no, I ain't gonna do that. Folks over there with that mess, and it's like, why do you want to see a person's friends? Why do you want to see a person's downfall? Why do you want to see this person fall so bad? All because Faith, I don't answer the phone for people. When you stop answering the phone for people, people,
Mm.
people lose their mind. Then they want to talk about you.
When there's boundaries set, okay, duly noted. That is bound. But Giles, I want to do something with you because I know I had played a little game with you before. We had that impromptu conversation a few months ago, but I want to do something different. So now the space that you're in, and I know you spoke to many people. You've been in many spaces with many people. So I'm going to put some names out there. And it could be anybody from within the church or not. Don't matter. No matter who they are. And I just want to, when I bring up the name and I name drop them, I want you to give me one prominent question you would ask them. One question you would ask them. And I want you to just think about it. One question you would ask them during, if you are in the space with them, in the interview with them, whatever I want you to ask whatever question it is, like that real poignant question that you would ask that person.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, Jamal Bryant.
If I had to interview Jamal Bryant, the question I would ask Jamal is, what makes you fight so hard the way you do when your comrades won't even stand with you?
Mm.
What makes you fight so hard, Jamal?
Mm,
In the face of the adversity that you
mm.
know you're doing the right thing, but your preacher buddies and friends and people in high places won't even stand with you.
Okay. Duly noted. Oh God, it'll be so messy. William McCray.
Oh no.
Oh, come with it.
Um, and honestly, I say this, and people really don't believe me when I say this. I don't have no hatred for William. It
The question.
but the question would be, if you could do it all over again,
Mm-hmm.
if you could do it all over again,
Mm-hmm.
the things that you have done to make you the person that you are today, and the people disliking you, what would you do different?
Mm. That's a good one. That's a good one. Auntie Deb. No, I mean no. That's a no. No, that's what. No, they dropping her. What would you ask her? she not. She looking
Where's she at? Oh, like, where's she at? Hold on.
for. What you looking for her for?
I thought she was in the chat.
Oh God, that's funny. No, she ain't no chat. I'm talking. That's one of the name drops.
Auntie Dare, let me see. You know, I actually met. Okay, one question. So, what would I ask her? Well, there are some things that I would ask her, but that would be something that would be me and her, a conversation, she and I. But give me a second. Let me think about this.
God, I wish I had the Jeopardy song.
Oh, I got some music I could play.
I know you do.
But if I had to ask Auntie Deb one, Duke, if I had to ask Auntie Deb one question, I would ask her. Yeah, I can't. Those questions are not public answer.
Okay.
Question.
Want me to go? We must circle back to her. I can circle back because I will.
You can circle back. I just me and Auntie Deb, we have a relationship.
Okay.
Like, I don't put her on. Like, if there's something that I really need to say to her, like I know how to pick up my phone and say what I need to say, because I consider Auntie Deb auntie. Like,
Right.
Deb live in the same city, so
Okay.
whenever she needed me, like, she'll be, pick up the phone. Hey nephew, da 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 da. This going on. My fish tank. This that. All of this. I would be right there. So if I had a question for her, I do have some questions, but it's not for this.
From between. Okay. I respect that. All right, Miss Stevie.
Stevie, honestly, I love my sister. Like, I would say, I would ask her, what does she want to be? Because I think what she does, like, with a little bit of help, and I love my sister. I ain't got the strength, right? I ain't got the strength to do it. No. She is an amazing interviewer and personality.
She is.
My question would be to her, what do you want to do with your life, and how big do you want to be?
You can answer that, Miss Stevie. I want to know the answer. Can you answer that, Miss Stevie, if you're still in the chat? Morris Chestnut.
Oh, he's so fire. Oh, sorry. Morris Chestnut.
What was have fun with it.
I'm telling you, like, if Morris Chestnut walked up to me right now, I would be like, wow. Like, I ain't one of them horny dogs. I ain't like that. But I'd be like, man, wow. But if I had to ask him a question, I would say, in the media, Hollywood, Hotlanta, whatever.
Mm-mm.
What makes you keep going to do what you do? Because
Good. Okay, that's a good one. Right, I like that.
honestly, he is a symbol of masculinity, uh, a man, a sexy dark chocolate man,
Family man. Mm-hmm.
family man, and the roles that he's played. Like, how does that work? How does he keep going? Because he's not, like, how do you survive
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in because like now you don't have like the way, yeah.
Mm-mm. I get it. I get it. I know. I know. Yeah, I took you there. So a couple more because I'm having fun with this. I'm enjoying the responses. By the way, I'm really enjoying your answers. And oh goodness, it just escaped me just now. I had a good one too. Um, oh, I got it. Tell you busy.
No, Lisa's mama died. No.
Who?
Lisa knows.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. Okay, go. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No, I'm familiar with Lisa Knowles. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh, she just died in a car accident. Damn.
Oh goodness, my condolences.
Wow. Okay, let's go
Yeah.
back to these questions.
Okay. Larry Reed.
Why you pick that? Why you being messy? Why you pick that, Red?
Uh, uh,
Yeah, you. Okay, so let me, because really I don't have nothing for him either. Um I
just a question.
I honestly feel like if I was to ask, because I would ask him, and I will only stick around for the truth.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Why was I targeted?
Mm.
Because I asked this question to Vincent, and Vincent couldn't give me a straight answer. Because between Beetlejuice and myself, we were targeted. And it was like, because we kind of capitalized in an area, it was like, I want to be the head nigga in charge. And so my question would be, why did you target me? And why did you try to destroy me? Because like, that's been years of stuff, right? I just want to know why I was targeted.
Mm. Understandable. But and this is the last one. Ready for this one?
Okay.
God.
Who?
God.
God. Okay.
You heard me the first time.
Mm. Let me put a little music on so I can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's King Corn, might I add.
Thank you for that. Yeah, because I was yeah, you got me listening to him now. Mm-hmm.
So
I hope you'll get me in trouble with this music, but go ahead.
Oh no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay.
If I had to ask God one thing, I couldn't really ask him one thing, but if I had to,
Yeah, I understand. It could change tomorrow.
I would honestly ask, what was the purpose of creating me, and what was your intentions? Because I asked God that a whole lot.
Okay, and with that being said, thank you for that response, by the way. What do you think your purpose is? What do you think you put here to do?
Um, I think my purpose. I think my purpose, honestly, in life is um how he keep his marriage out the limelight. That's funny. Uh,
Yeah. And Wanda, I told you. I told you. Like,
so I think my purpose. I think my personal purpose in life is being a help to other people. I think my purpose is being a voice to other people, and even where I am in life, I think that being able to lend a hand to somebody else who otherwise wouldn't think that you would look their way. I think that is my purpose is being that voice for other people. And
absolutely.
I do believe that in some way, shape, form, or fashion, that the Lord is going to bless me in that aspect, uh, because I genuinely have a heart for people.
Okay.
Hold on one second. G Butterfly, baby, I listen.
You good? You
I,
good now?
can you hear me?
Yeah, you good now?
Okay, I was showing all your products, Mama. I was showing all your products, girl. So make sure you inbox me on Instagram because I got a question because there's some stuff I want to get because you got this apple butter stuff and you got some more stuff over here. I want to get a whole soap bar of that. Anyways, but I think that that's my purpose. I think that really being a genuine heart to people and really showing people the love, not just of God, but just a genuine person. Um, I think that's part of my purpose.
Okay, and you serving that well. And so I also want to ask you. I don't know if I asked this or not before, but I like to ask. I love because I love the answer that I get on this question so as well. So King Jives, when you enter into this question is taken from the late great James Lipton from Inside the Actor Studio. So King Jives, when you enter into the pearly gates, what do you want God to say?
That's a dangerous song. While the people wonder where we belong. Are we living in an alternate reality? Or am I sleep caught in this insanity? Red versus blue, but it's the same old show.
Thank
Where the
you
facts don't matter, only what you know. Somebody
and well done. You know that's the typical answer. Well done.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I get. Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, after dealing with everything that I deal with here, you know, I can just and this may sound bad or whatever, but everybody looking for a crown, everybody looking for a white robe. Just thank you and give me a hug. That's all.
I really do want that embrace so badly, but I really thank you, King Jives. I really do appreciate you coming on and just blessing my platform. And thank you for the supporters that came through. I mean, because following you, I don't always agree with everything you say. I don't. I mean, you're controversial, but you have this presence about you. You have this way about you that it shifts the atmosphere a little bit, and I like it. You shake the table, and I enjoy that. So I really do appreciate being able to share the space with you, and I want it to happen again. I'm hoping that you come back because there's so much more that we could discuss. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
yes. So I do want us to have that again. So, do you have any final words for us?
Honestly, I just want to say to everybody that's watching on whatever page you're watching on, I want to say thank you all so much for coming over here and supporting Faith is the substance. Supporting Faith. She is an amazing person. I met Faith some years ago. Um, and I want to just say that, new content creators wherever, it's great to connect with other people. Just treat people the way you want to be treated. That's what I will always say that. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And if you decide to move on or do something different in life, just make sure you leave the relationship how you want people to leave you.
Amen. Amen. King Jives, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, King Jives. I do appreciate his presence here, and I hope that you've gotten something from this. Because this is something that I've always wanted to do, have him on my platform and really have a more in-depth, candid conversation with him. Because I always wanted to get more into like his personal journey, because you see his persona on here, but I wanted to get into his personal space a little bit. Not too intimate, but a little bit more of his personal space. So I'm glad he was able to share that with us. So I really thank you, King Jive, so much for coming into this space with me. And like I said again, I'm looking forward to us having this space again. Thank you so much for all of the people that came through. I hope y'all subscribed and thumbs up the video, because I want you to make sure you come to see me. Come to see me, So thank you so much. And in the meantime, have a good one.